welcome to today's video. This is about turning kick, and today I'm going to teach you an introduction level turning kick. I'm going to teach you a couple of more, slightly more advanced versions of the front and back leg turning kick done more realistically in a fight situation. I'm going to show you the step through turning kick, which is a movement based travelling forward turning kick, and I'm also going to show you a kickboxing, Thai boxing version which is slightly different to the turning kick we teach. So lots of new things here. I'm going to go through the technical side of this, and we're also going to have a look at the kick in action with some of our students over the last couple of years in some of the videos we've recorded to show you the kick as it should be used, as it is on the apparatus. So hopefully you'll enjoy this, something different. This is turning kick. So let's look at our basic turning kick, the turning kick we like to teach our beginners to make sure that they understand where the hips are meant to be. With all the kicks, the hip position and the standing foot position are the most important things to get right to start with. Obviously foot position, speed and power, technique, attitude, how the kick follows with then hands or other legs, that all comes later on. But let's get the kick, the foundation of the kick, absolutely correct to start with. This is how we like to teach it to our beginners, and if you're new to turning kick, I hope this is useful to you. For those that may feel they haven't quite got their turning kick right, it might be worth going back to basic and starting again, working on this routine at home. And if you've got any apparatus at home when you're working from home, if you've got any kick panels or punch bags that you can use, they're also very helpful to give you an idea of the kick, the strength in the kick, and if the kick is working correctly. Number one, this is how we do it. We tend to break this down to 3 parts. Number one, we stand sideways on. So imagine now I'm doing a turning kick this way, and to give you an even more of a breakdown of the turning kick, we're going to be using the top of the foot, the instep, and we use this kick on the front raising kick. This is the same foot position, but the kick will be coming from the side. Okay, so it'll be impacting it towards the side of the leg, the side of the knee. If you're more flexible, it comes up into the floating ribbing towards the side, towards the kidney area. If you're very flexible, it can come high section. But with a lot of kicks, particularly if you're in reality, if you're out on the street, you're going to have a pair of jeans on, pair of shoes on, you're not warmed up. If you're not massively flexible, a kick down here into the side of the leg and towards the side of the knee. If you're higher, perhaps up to here, any of those areas are going to be hugely effective. So it doesn't always have to be a high kick to be a great kick. It can be just as effective down lower below the belt. Okay, so first step, number one, is we're going to stand sideways to where we're going to kick. So I'm going to use this leg to kick that way. My opponent's coming forward. Now in reality, we're not going to stand to the side. I'm going to teach you in a little bit to move the guard position forward. But to get the basics of the kick, particularly if you're using a target like a kick paddle in front of you, we stand sideways, rule number one. Rule number two, we're going to turn the standing foot not all the way to the side, not to face the back, but at a 45-degree angle, okay? So it needs to turn towards the back, but not all the way around. If you're very bad at flexibility, and I know a few students are, and I know it does improve with training, that you could take the foot around a little bit more if that helps you. So turn the foot 45 degrees. Number two, we're going to lean back. We need to get the shoulder down, and as we do, we're going to bring that knee up, okay? So you can see the knee is pointing forward, and I brought my foot back, my toes come back, my foot pulls back to expose the instep, which is the bit we're using. I'm going to put it behind me as if I'm about to do the kick, and I'm going to point the knee towards the target to start with. So number one, stand sideways on. I see my feet are roughly pointing this way to start with. Take your back foot, your non-kicking foot, turn it 45 degrees, lean back, and lift up, raise that knee up. Just getting that basic exercise to start with, particularly if you can hold it. See if you can lift up, and just see if you can hold that position before you kick out, okay? So one little basic exercise to go back for those that are new to this kick is just seeing if you can, 2 or 3 times in a row, get that routine of turning the foot, leaning back, and just see if you can hold it there for a few seconds. If you can, that means your balance is correct. If I now don't turn that foot correctly and try to lean back, my hips are not in the right position, they're too tight, the foot position isn't coming up. If I show you from here, if I don't turn this foot enough, I end up like this, which is why a lot of people find their kicks are very low. The moment you turn this foot away and you lean, you can get the shoulder down more, and you can then start to pick that leg up a little bit more. So that's our first little exercise that you can try at home to develop the turning kick. Sideways on, foot turns, lean back, and from here, then you can flick out and make your turning kick. One more time. So sideways on, turn this foot out, lean back, and then we're going to extend the foot out, point the foot, and flick, okay? The knee is going to remain pointing in the direction of the target all the way through the kick and all the way back. That's our basic introduction steps to learning turning kick. Let's move on now and look at it more in a practical format, which is going to be from a straight on position like so, so our hips are in a slightly different position. Let's see how we get on with this. So now from a more practical position, let me show you the 45-degree angle. We're going to go from a normal guard position, so we've taken this foot from our basic position, and it's going to be quite difficult to fight from that position because you're a lot more turned. Your guard, yes, it's more protected, but your hands are more over here than in front. It keeps your hips in an awkward position. So we're going to go into a normal guard position with the front foot pointing forward, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a pivot. So what we need to do is we need to get into exactly the position that we were in before, which is going to be, remember, this foot 45 degrees, leaning back, the knee pointing towards the target, the toes pull back. But what we're going to do, if I'm facing this way with my guard position, front foot is there, I've got to bring this leg up and round into that position and turn this foot out in one go, okay? So there's a pivot action to get to that position. So let me show you now, if I'm going at this 45-degree angle, where we were in the previous steps, sideways on, turn the foot, lean back, our knee comes up and our knee points towards the target. What we're going to do from here is basically just pivot into that position, okay? That's the bit that most students struggle with as they're going from a basic turning kick to a more advanced front leg turning kick. They struggle with that pivot. So they go from here and they just bring the leg up. They focus on that bit, but don't focus on that bit. I think it's the other way around. Focus on the back bit there, get that turn, lean back. Focus also, if I do it towards you, on this ankle raising up to the same height as the knee. If you don't do that, which there is a way you can do this with something called a 3/4 turning kick, which I'm going to show you later on, but for the moment we're going to try and do the full turning kick because our kicks come from Taekwondo. This is how it's taught, very effective. We're going to teach you the same way. So from our normal guard position, we need to start to raise, pivot, and make sure that ankle is as much towards the same height as the knee as you possibly can. So there you go, one more time. From guard position, we need to get that pivot. Here, extend, and you can step back or you can step forward. Let's have a look at that kick again. Okay, so two parts really to the slightly more advanced front kick or the more practical front kick, turning kick, front leg turning kick, sorry. We're going to basically make sure, try to slow it down, we raise up, we get that pivot, and we extend into that kick position there. So from there, show you 45 degrees. Last little look at this turning kick. And this is a good thing, again, practice it in stages. Practice that turn as fast as you can. That's going to be essential if the kick is going to be effective. It's no good having a slow pivot and a fast kick. The person's moved, person's blocked you, person's hit you. So we need to make sure this is still practical to you. So again, one more time from guard position here, get the pivot, extend through, and you don't always have to step down. That's quite easy to do. Try a step back as well, because in reality, that may not have worked. You don't want to end up close to your opponent. If that turning kick hasn't worked, you're going to be in a bit more trouble. So you may also prefer to step back into a guard position. It takes a little bit more control and balance. There we go. That's a slightly more advanced front leg turning kick. Let's now have a look at the kick from the back, which is a power kick. Normally with most of the back leg kicks, most of the power kicks, they're designed to be a sort of finishing technique, an ending technique, rather than an opening technique. So front leg, front hand, always an opening technique, more so. Doesn't always work, but it's the most common format. The back leg, the back arm, the power strike, we've got more body twist. It tends to be more the finishing, one of the last techniques we may do in a sequence to finish a fight. So this is the big power kick coming off the back now, the back leg power turning kick. Let's have a look at this.